What is up, guys? Whoops. I don't know what that's doing up there, but anyway, first of all, thank you guys so much for tuning into the stream. It's great to see you guys all. I believe I was here last week doing some Nintendo stuff. Give me just a moment. That's better. I like that much better. Okay, that's what I call live editing, folks. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I'm your host, Will, and tonight I'm going to show off some goodies that I got at a local expo today. A lot of video game goodies, mostly Game Boy stuff. And one of those is a mystery game. I'm like, ooh, a mystery game. And I got it for $5. I don't know what it is. I've cleaned it. I was getting ready to test it. But I thought, nope, let's do a stream and see if you guys can be able to figure out what is this mystery game. You can leave your guesses down in the chat. I will show it to you in just a little bit. But before we get started, I do want to mention a shout out real quick to Gameplay Pay More over on Twitch. Thank you for the follow, my friend. Thank you for the follow. I believe that puts me over 90 on Twitch followers. And if you guys are watching on Twitch or any of the platforms you want to follow me on Twitch, you can do so. You can hit me up on any of these platforms you see below, either the one you're watching or the one you can also watch elsewhere. You can follow me on Twitter at WillYork_23, Twitch Tuxedo28, and YouTube Will York. You guys can also hit me up on Discord. That text logo on the right side of your screen will guide you on your way to Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Discord. You guys can also hit me up on Facebook through 4State Gamers. Make sure you answer all the questions. Make sure you are from the local area, because it's a group for the local people. You guys can also add me on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, and even Epic Game Store. You guys can also add me on 3DS. I still need to get a code in for Wii U. So if you guys want to add me on 3DS, just use the exclamation mark 3DS, and that'll give you a friend code. You can add me to Nintendo 3DS. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and get some goodies shown off. So I took half a day of work today. I worked the first half, and the second half of work I went to a local expo. So this is one I look forward to every year. It's a big show. A friend of mine puts it on every year. And this year was bigger than ever. I'd say probably the biggest show he's ever done, the biggest one I've ever seen. He managed to get a lot of celebrity guests in, some former wrestlers, an actress, the actress that plays the Pippi Longstocking in the live action movie from a long time ago. Never seen it. Anyway, it was a big show, a lot of vendors. They even had robot fights in a Smash Bros. Tournament, which I wasn't involved with this year. I was not involved with the Smash Bros. Tournament. So, anyway, I just went there. I spent over an hour there, and I got a lot of goodies. I got one really good goodie. I will save that for last, because I think it is the most special. So, let's go ahead and get started with some of these other goodies. Let's see. I got a Nintendo 64 transfer pack, which is pretty cool. Awesome. If you have the Nintendo 64 and the original controller, if you have Pokemon Stadium or Stadium 2, you can put one of the Pokemon games in there, one of the first Gen 6 games, and then you can put the Pokemon from the Game Boy games into, Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2. So I've been wanting to get one of these for quite a while, and this was only $15, which it was actually I thought it was a pretty good deal. Like, 15's not bad for a transfer pack. So now I just need to get Stadium or Stadium 2, and I'll need to think about that in the future. But yeah, basically you would just take, a Game Boy game or like like the Game Boy, not the Game Boy Color, but more like the Game Boy games. You could just put it in there, and then you can play your Game Boy games on Nintendo 64, which is pretty cool. Which I think it was pretty awesome, pretty good, convenient for the time, for something that's about 30 years old. I'd say that's pretty revolutionary. So, $15 for this Nintendo 64 transfer pack, and it was something I've been wanting for quite a while. Next up, got a DS game for $5. It's hard to see, but it's Lego Indiana Jones, The Adventure Continues. So, and that was $5. So I thought I'd pick this up. This ain't too bad of a, not too bad of a deal. $5, and it's a Lego game. So, yep. And I can always use a few more DS games, so I thought I'd give it a try. I love the Lego games. Thought I'd give it a try, so I'll have to see if this thing... I haven't tested it yet. I'll have to see if this thing works, so... Yeah. I just saw it and I'm like, hey, I might as well go for this. $5 ain't that bad of a deal. And... I did get a Game Boy Color game, and I was actually testing it before I did the stream. Just a Tom and Jerry game. Looks like a simple platformer. And it was $10, so that wasn't too bad. So I tested it out, and it actually does work. I was doing some testing before the stream, and I was actually trying to do some testing on a mystery game, and it looks like it's going to work as well. But I turned it off before I saw anything, so I turned that off. So here we go. Tom and Jerry, the video game for Game Boy Color. That was $10, which I thought was pretty deal. Then... got a bag of goodies here. Need for Speed Most Wanted on the Game Boy Advance. Haven't tested it out yet, but my little brother was asking about the Need for Speed games on Game Boy Advance. He was trying to find one that was familiar to him. I gave him one for Christmas last year, and he said didn't feel familiar to him. So I'll kind of test this, clean this, test this, and see if this works for him, if it's the one he remembers. So we'll see. So anyway. That was $15, which that ain't too terrible. Not too terrible for $15. So, yeah, Need for Speed, Most Wanted on Game Boy Advance. Then what else? If you guys know me, I'm a big diehard Chiefs fan. So I just had to go take a look, and I found this awesome replica ring, which is pretty cool. And this is like based off the recent design of the Chiefs' third Super Bowl victory. So if you're Eagles fans and you don't want to watch me put on this ring, I don't blame you. So I just thought this was pretty cool. And this was only $10, so I thought this was really cool. And the thing is, it fits. So how cool is that? Yeah, it's good to be champs. So now I got two replica rings. This one fits a lot better than the one I had, the one I got for the, I should have got this a little bigger. That's a 10.5. I think I should have gotten this like a 10 3/4 or something. But anyway, it does fit. It's a good snug fit, and it is a replica ring. If you guys notice on the, closely, it's hard to read, but it says TE. I learned today that that's a test model for this. So basically, it is a replica ring, but it's also a test ring on that. So, and you also got the score from the game: KC 38, Philly 35, Super Bowl 57, 2022. So this is awesome. I am definitely going to have to wear this tomorrow. Of course, the Chiefs play the Bears tomorrow, and it looks like the Chiefs are definitely going to win out, but I just thought I'd show this ring off to you. How cool is that? So excited about that, and I get to, hopefully get to wear that out in public a lot more. So, and like I said, they had a lot of different replicas. That one was $10. I'm like, that's not bad for a replica ring. That is not bad at all. I'll take it for 10. Because I've been wanting to get one. I've been wanting to get a replica ring, because real ones are so expensive. That, and I'm not a player. And then what else? Another football stuff. So they had this little bingo thing, for you roll the number, or you roll the little balls, and you pick out a prize, and that was $10. So I got a Tom Brady in a Buccaneers uniform, which apparently this has been graded as a 9, so it's not too terrible for $10, but so yeah, and it's got information, and it talks about the 2020 off season. So And I guess that was the yeah, this was the season that Tom Brady, his first season with Tampa, which they ended up winning the Super Bowl against my Chiefs. That was not a good game, by the way. But in the end, Mahomes wasn't 100%. So, but yeah, this is graded at a 9. So, I might have to give that. I might have to keep that one. And then another Game Boy Color game. This one's Frogger 2. I'm gonna have to do some more work on this because this is not working for some reason. I think it's mostly because of the battery. I think it just needs a new battery change, but I've also noticed there's a lot of Sharpie marks on this, so definitely gonna have to give that a clean. But Frogger 2 I think was $5, so that wasn't too terrible of a deal. And I thought, well, you might as well expand the Game Boy Color library by using Frogger 2. And I tried testing that out in cleaning, but it hasn't worked so far, so I might have to do some more clean work on this. And then got this for $25. It's the Game Boy version of the Game Genie. So if you don't know what the Game Genie is, this was back in the day. If you were struggling with games on hard levels like Super Mario Bros., Legend of Zelda, or any other of the Game Boy or NES, SNES, Genesis, if you're struggling with any of those games back in the day, this was your best friend. So what you would do, you would stick it on the back of a Game Boy Color, or Game Boy Advance system. You would stick this in the back, and then you had to label the game. You had to insert the game with the label facing inward, which is away from you. So that means you're gonna be looking at the back of it when you put it on. So, for example, we'll use the Frogger. So, basically, you would just do this, and that's how you would do it. And then on the back here, there's a little compartment, and this would reveal a book. I didn't get the book with this. I just got it as is. So, if I could find the book, that'd be great. And then, there. And then, basically, when you play the game, you would use that little book. There would be cheat codes inside for certain games, and then you would enter those codes in, and then you can use it. You're basically cheating the game, which is really cool. I mean, back then, if you were struggling with a level and it gave you some cheats to, up the game a little bit, I mean, I think that's a pretty win. So, win-win. So, I've been wanting to get my hands on one of these for a while. I just either need to get the book, or I can look for those cheat codes online. I mean, it's not a super big deal, but he was asking $30, and he said he could do $25 for it. I'm like, okay. I really didn't do any haggling today, so for any of the stuff I got, a lot of the stuff I paid for, I think it was pretty reasonable prices. So, yep, Game Genie, must have for a retro gamer. Must have for that. Can't wait to give it a try and see where that goes. Yeah, I'm not done yet. I still got a lot more to show off. And next thing I have to show off, I got two of these. I got the Game Boy Advance video for Pokemon, for 2 of the 4 Pokemon volumes. So I got one of those, which is a hot water battle, and for Ho-Oh the Bell's Tool. And then the other one is Beach, Blank Out, Blastoise, and Go West Young Mouth. Again, these are the Game Boy Advance video cartridges. So if you notice the difference between this and a normal Game Boy Advance game, which I'll show you. So this is the Game Boy Advance game right here. This is the video. The cartridge color is very different. These were only designed to play videos. So this was also back in the day before, back when you wanted to take your stuff on the go. You didn't have a lot of options, but you could have an option with the Game Boy Advance video for a lot of different shows. Not just Pokemon. You had Nickelodeon doing it, Disney did some, Cartoon Network did some. A lot of these companies put their shows in a cartridge. A few episodes in one little cartridge, which I think is pretty cool. So, like, we're all able to watch content on our phones today. This was like 20 years ago. You really didn't have much of an option to do much when it comes to traveling. Didn't have a whole lot of options to do. So you either had one of the popular video nows, which is basically the same thing. It had their own little DVD system, and it played shows, or this was the Nintendo's response to it with the Game Boy Advance video. Like I said, they did a lot of different shows, like Ed, Edd n Eddy, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents, Ninja Turtles, Sonic X, just to name a couple. So, and again, if you really wanted to dig into nostalgia, these are definitely worth have. So, I got 2 of these. I also got 3 more. I got the Jimmy Neutron, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I think one of the Nickelodeon collections of shows that include like SpongeBob and All Grown Up, just to name a couple. So, next up, my mystery Game Boy Color game. I do not know what this is. There's no label on it. It could be anything, really. If you guys want to make a guess what this could be, I'm all ears. I mean, it could be anything from a first-party Nintendo game, or it could also be a third-party company, you know, like a Disney game or a baseball game or something. This is quite a mystery, and this was only $5. And I can tell that this was about to work because I tried to do a test on it, and it looked like it was going to work. So, in just a little bit, I will reveal to you all what is this mystery Game Boy Color game. What is this mystery? Gotta know. And finally, I think I have everything else showing up. Yes. All right. The big, I think was the best deal of the day, was this. Yes, a Game Boy Color system. A Game Boy Color system. Not just any Game Boy Color system. It's harder with the differential color, but this was the gold. This is a gold edition Pokemon Color gold system. Am I just kind of looking at it? You can see the gold. It's kind of hard to tell with this camera, but there is gold on this. They say there's gold in them Dar Hills. And you know what? I think I struck gold right here. I think this was the best deal that I got today. $70. And I got there at this expo around after 1:30. After 1:30. I got there, and this was one of the first things I saw. I'm like, I am not hesitating to pick this up. The guy told me it works. If you guys want, I can show you. Give me just a moment. I will mute the music, and then I will turn it on. I just put in some batteries, so give me just a moment. Music's muted. Let's see if you guys can hear the sound. Well, it's kind of hard to tell, but, and also as you can see, this works. It's kind of hard to tell because this is a, a screen that, not very good with today's stuff, but looking at this just doesn't, I mean, it looks cosmetically flawed, which is okay. I'm okay with this. But you also get you got the Pikachu over here, and you got Pichu. So I think this was the special, this was a special Game Boy Color system. I'm going to have to do some more research on this. I'm going to have to do research on this to see, how many of these were out, what's the price for these? Because I think one in really good condition, I think it fetches a way more than what I paid for. $70, I am not getting rid of this thing. Am I going to get rid of my Atomic Purple one? I don't know. I think I'll keep it. I might save it for kids someday. We'll see. But I just wanted to show this off. This thing is so awesome. Again, this is so cool. And it works. I mean, the batteries work. It's just a few scuff marks. And you guys see on the back, the Game Boy the logo's faded. You can tell this thing's seen time. But for $70 for this, That's a pretty good deal. I'm enthralled. Not only, like, I've heard some people were contemplating it, but they never picked it up. I saw it and I'm like, all right, I'm going for it. I'm like, there is no hesitation for me. I'm a Game Boy lover. I grew up with the Game Boy Advance system, but I'm really starting to show more appreciation towards Game Boy Colors. And it's also the second year in a row I've actually gotten a pretty good Game Boy deal that I've managed to keep. I got a Game Boy system at a yard sale last year with 8 games. $20 for all of those. I've gotten rid of some of them. I've kept a few. But I think this is one I'm definitely going to keep. Very much going to keep. This thing works. I might have to go pop in a Pokemon game and just play a little bit of Pokemon to have fun. So, I just wanted to show this off. How cool is this? A sweet, sweet gold edition Pokemon Game Boy Color system. I mean, this is just too cool. It is just too cool. You got the gold. I mean, it just looks like it's a pretty cool gold system. I don't know if it's a limited edition like they were selling these, or if this was a limited edition as in they were giving them away. I don't know. If you guys know the answers to any of these, please let me know in the chat. I'd be more than happy to read out your chat. But yeah, just like to show this off. This is just so, so cool. Oh. And everything about it feels good. The buttons feel good. It turns on. Yeah, I'm in love with this thing. This thing's just so cool. This thing is so awesome. So, alright, without much further ado, let's go ahead and switch over here. Alright, let's go ahead and put in my mystery Game Boy Color game. Feel free to make some picks and predictions. My prediction is Mario Golf. It's one game I've never played. I mean, there's a million possibilities what this could be. There's like thousands of possibilities what this could be. If I had to pick just one, I would have to pick Mario Golf. It's one of those games I've never played, but I know they developed it for Game Boy Color, and the look of it, it did come in a clear canister. So let's go ahead. Turn it on. By the way, I am using my Retron Square system, so do please bear with me for just a little bit while I'm waiting. Okay, the Hyperkin logo is a good sign that it's going to work. Now, will it go away? Like I said, I really haven't done a lot of testing with this one yet, but I did test it with the Game Boy Color, with the system that I just showed off to you. And it looked like it was going to load a game. So, I do apologize if it's taking so long, guys. Might not load. It looked like it was going to load. Let's see, give me just a moment. I might need to switch an input here. That's not supposed to happen. Give me just a moment. Let me see if I can do some editing on the fly. If I'm not able to, I apologize. Man. Okay, I know that's a terrible angle. Give me just a moment. Let me fix that up. And that's a terrible angle too. I apologize, guys. I really do. Let me do this the old-fashioned way. So I did do some cleaning on this before I played it, so let's try this again. Nothing wrong with the good old Nothing good wrong with a good old blowing. Even though they say don't blow it. Okay, we're getting a good sign here. There's a really good sign here. Alright, it's loading. What is this mystery game? Okay, Hyperkin. Monsters Inc! Ooh! It's Monsters Inc. for Game Boy Color. Okay. Well, given that it's Monsters Inc., the $5 is exactly where it is. Let me fix that up so I can, guys, read that. Oh yeah, they took that from the movie. Hmm. Huh. So yeah, never thought this would be Monsters Inc. But it's also one of the cheapest Game Boy Color games out there. Interesting. There's B to scare. Uh-oh. Oh. This is so cheesy. That is, very, very cheesy. So, I could see why it was $5. It's just one of those simple, you jump and don't really do much. But it is a mystery game. Interesting to see about that. So, I could keep playing, but I'm deciding not to. So yeah, I just wanted to show off what this mystery Game Boy Color game is. And honestly, and for $5, that was the right price. They say the price is right. So, yeah, honestly, I'm not going to continue on. I'm not too thrilled with that. I could see why that game was $5, and with or without the label, it was worth the price. So, that's all I got. That's all I got for you guys tonight. I want to thank you for tuning in, watching and tuning in. You guys are great. You're awesome. You're wonderful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching me on all the different platforms, which you can see below. On Twitter at WillYork_23, Twitch Tuxedo28, and YouTube Will York. You guys can also hit me up on Discord. That text logo on the right side of your screen, the one with the circle, the letters text, that will guide you on your way to Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Discord. You can also add me on, find me on Facebook through 4State Gamers. You guys can also add me on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, and the Epic Games Store. A couple things real quick. One, I am going to try to plan on doing a stream. Hopefully next week, I will play 2 hours of Pikmin 1 and 2. So the plan for that is, what I'm thinking about doing, is playing 1 hour of Pikmin 1 and then 1 hour of Pikmin 2. And they'll have to be different streams, because I'll have to go and change the title on those to match Twitch for Pikmin 1 and 2. I'll need to do that. So that's what I'm planning on, hopefully next week, if not soon. And then I'm also planning on a Super Mario Bros. Wonder stream. Playing that, hopefully in the middle of October. I'll definitely plan on that. So, go from there. So, just wanted to take a moment, show this off one last time to you guys. Again, this thing is so awesome. It's too cool. I love this thing. And I am not going to part with it. Not parting with it. Even for $1 million. Although $1 million sounds nice. I'm not going to part with it. No way, no how, no sir. So, one last time, showing this off to you guys again. That was a mosquito in front of me. Yeah, again, this thing is so cool. It's awesome. And $70 for this, I think that was a sweet deal right there for that. Sweet deal for a Game Boy Color system that looks like it's aged. But it looks like it's done pretty well aging. I'll tell you that. It's done pretty well. It works and everything, so yeah. So, I might have to go find me a Pokemon game and start playing some Pokemon right after the stream. So if that's where I'm going to be, then that's where I'm going to be. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Hope you guys have a great, wonderful evening. I'll catch you all on the flip side. Have a good one, guys.